Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Red, my name is Matt, hello. Okay, let's recap last week's episode, Buffy, what happened. So, we got bad girls, we just straight up killed Min. And I did talk about the fact that I noticed eventually that it was Alan, I think that was his name, like the assistant of the mayor. Something I didn't talk about very much because it is something I thought about, but I just kind of roll with it and I was just like, yeah, whatever. But when I rewatched the episode because I was editing it, I think it becomes incredibly, almost explicitly told that Balthazar's ancient enemy that defeated him like 100 years ago was the mayor. And that is something that I did point out while I was watching the episode. I was like, is your ancient enemy the mayor? And then just based on like 3 things that the episode tells you, you kind of, yes, it is very much the mayor, I think. Unless they're trying to do something to psych you out, you know, like, because they're not explicitly saying it. So unless there is another entity that is ascending, I think we can say that Balthazar's ancient enemy was probably the mayor. And if that's the case, it means that the mayor is over 100 years old. And this is something that I like notice. Like, this is something that in my head I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I think I'm also someone that I am way too used to like weird and bizarre media. So in my head I'm like, yeah, okay, he's like 200 years old, and I just moved on with it. I didn't even say anything. But looking back at it, I'm like, okay, that's something that I should probably talk about. Okay, so now we know that the mayor is not just a guy, but instead he is some kind of special guy. He is something supernatural. He is a vampire. I don't know what else it could be, but it could be anything, really. It could also be like a weird reincarnation thing, you know, like maybe he was a different guy 100 years ago, but then he died and then he came back into a new guy, you know? Because I'm also guessing that if you want to be like a mayor, then there should be some kind of like documents and stuff that like make you a real person in the world, you know, like some birth certificates and like high school diplomas and shit, you know. But also I am aware of several pieces of media where that doesn't fucking matter. Because if you're a powerful being, then you can kind of just make your way into a position of power without actually doing any of the real work. I'm not sure if that's the way it would work in real life, but in media that happens a lot. Like a direct line I can draw is into Doctor Who Revival 2005, more specifically 2007, where you get I'm not gonna spoil Doctor Who, but there is a character who gets into a very high ranking position of political power, and they are not a normal person. And I know that Russell T Davies was heavily inspired in something like Buffy when he came up with the revival of Doctor Who. By the way, I'm very excited for Russell T Davies coming back to Doctor Who this year actually, yeah. It's the 60th year anniversary. Man, I'm excited for that. But yeah, whenever I mention like Torchwood or something, someone lets me know like, hey, did you know? I know, don't worry, I know. But another example I can think about is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And in fact, there is a character who is like an immortal who has lived through many eras, and the entire time they just look the same, but they kind of do information control, because if you have political power, then you can do information control, and through information control you can erase your tracks. So there you go. Maybe the mayor has just been around for like 300 years and he just gets like a different haircut, like a beard, maybe like a hat or something. I would like to see that, and that is something the show would do actually. They would just show me like, oh my god, this guy has been around for centuries, and it's like different like newspaper pictures, and he just looks like slightly different in a lot of them. Like in one of them he's like a cowboy or something. That would be fun to see. But yeah, anyway, the mayor is a powerful man, and he's been a powerful man that has been around for at least a century, probably a couple. No idea what he is. I mean, the easy answer could just be he's a vampire, but that's boring. I would like him if he was something different, right? I don't know what, but another supernatural thing. That would be fun for me. Anyway, that is the topic of conversation I was missing last week, so I made up for it now in the intro. But yeah, last week, Faith just killed a man. just a civilian, and they don't know that it's someone that was working for Satan incarnate or whatever. Not that it really matters, because that guy wasn't necessarily bad that we know of. That was just a guy, and Faith killed him and disposed of the body, and now we kind of have to deal with that. We also have a new watcher. I think his name was Wesley. He is a chump. I am not entirely sure if he is going to stick around for long. I had an idea that maybe he'll stick around until the end of the season, where he's actually going to be useful, and he's going to be brave, and he's going to save people, and it's going to be awesome, and he's going to immediately die. But he could also just leave this episode. He could also, like, he could be a fucker, and he could just, like, phone the council and be like, hey, Giles is interfering or whatever, even though he saved his fucking life. I don't know if he's that bad of a person. He doesn't seem like one. I would like it if I would genuinely love it if he called the council and he was like, actually, I'm not ready for this job. This shit's too much. You should get someone else in here. That would be fun. I would like that. Anyway, I think that's it for the recap. Patreon. Check out the Patreon. Link in the description below. Pop up on screen. You can support the channel so I can buy a new microphone, which I already did. But, you know, I have to make up for the money that I spent on it. But yeah, you can watch the next 2 episode reactions for the show, as well as full-length reactions for all of Buffy thus far. And okay. That's gonna be it. Let us begin. So, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 3, Episode 15. Let's go. I don't care. So what you don't see in that recap is that she does scare. She's just saying that she doesn't. Oh, having nightmares. You can't run away from your sins. Even though she didn't really do anything wrong, but she feels like she did. She's still guilty over it. Ooh. I mean, that would... yeah. If your friend committed a murder and they looked at you in your face and told you, yeah, I don't care, I killed someone, that whatever, who gives a shit, then you would probably be freaking out and be like, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is.
He was a close personal friend.
The fact that he was stabbed right in the heart is kind of a giveaway as to who did it. I mean, it's not a giveaway, but it narrows it down. Let's see what the mayor's gonna do, maybe. This feels like, I don't know, like episode 2 of Death Note. The reason why I'm saying that is because it feels like Elle can just immediately narrow it down to like a Slayer did this. Alright, I'm just gonna go and fucking kill them. And it's someone with the resources to do shit, so.
Find out everything you can about the murder of the deputy mayor.
Why? Why does this matter to us?
We'll get into it if he wants.
No, Buffy's right. The deputy mayor's murder was the result of human malice.
Wait, let me interrupt. I'm in a hurry.
What did you need?
A psych class. Freud and Jung. Book me?
This is a public library, after all.
New watcher.
Oh.
Does everybody know about you?
She's a friend.
You're the new watcher.
Wesley Wyndham Price.
I like a man with 2 last names.
You teach psychology.
I take psychology.
This is a minor. Oh my
In fact,
god, dude.
Here to watch. Girls. Buffy and Faith, to be specific. Fresh. Yes.
What is this interaction?
Thanks. Welcome to Sunnydale.
Are you flirting with this man? Sir, that is a minor.
Cheeky, isn't she?
Well, I guess she
First word
could
jail,
be-
Second word bait.
Yes! What are you doing? What am I watching?
You're gonna rat me out? Is that it?
I can't pretend to investigate this. I can't pretend that I don't know.
Oh, I see. But you can pretend that Angel's still dead when you need to protect him.
I am trying to protect you. Faith, what we did wasn't...
Yeah, we. You were right there beside me when this whole thing went down. You're a part of this, B. All the way.
This is gonna be the guilt episode. Let's see how this goes. There might be lasting consequences here. She gonna tell Willow.
Actually...
Willow is also gonna push her away a little bit.
I'm late.
Oh, Angel can maybe figure out that they did it when he saw Buffy. How does the mayor feel about this? This is what I want to know. Does he care?
Usually using the shredder gives me a lift. It's fun.
Oh, he cares. That's bad.
I just don't understand why Alan would leave such a paper trail about our dealings. You think he was going to betray me? And now he's dead, I'll never have the chance to scold him.
Okay. Maybe he doesn't care. We'll see.
Had wooden splinters in his wound.
Ooh, they know.
What, do you think he talked to them?
If he did, I'm thinking he said the wrong thing.
This is exciting. A Slayer up for murder 1. That's sunshine and roses to me. It really is.
He's the mayor. He has power to fuck Buffy's life up. And exclusively Buffy. Do they know about Faith? I'm not sure if they do. But even if they don't, like, Faith doesn't really have a household. She's just kind of staying around at a dirty motel. Why are you investigating this? Just pretend that you did. You don't have to do it. Oh my god, what the fuck are we doing today? Maybe we can find something out about the mayor in the process, but this is getting really dangerous here.
Whatever. I'm not looking to hug and cry and learn and grow. I'm just saying it happened quick, you know?
I don't think he was in that alley by chance. I think he was looking for us.
Oh. Maybe he was looking for y'all? Maybe he was gonna betray him? I don't know. That's Trick. Can they identify who that was? I don't think they got a good look. They have seen Mr. Trick before, but...
It doesn't matter what kind of vibe you get off a person, because 9 times out of 10, the face they're showing you is not the real one.
I guess you know a lot about that. I know what you're feeling because I'm feeling it too.
Do you? So fill me in, because I'd like to hear this.
Dirty. Like something sick creeped inside you and you can't get it out. And you keep hoping that it was just some nightmare, but it wasn't. And we're gonna have to figure out...
Is there gonna be an intermission in this?
Just let me talk to Giles, okay? I swear.
No, we're not bringing anybody else into this. This is all gonna blow over in a few days. If it doesn't, they got a freighter leaving the docks at least twice a day. It ain't fancy, but it gets you gone.
You just live with it? You see the dead guy in your head every day for the rest of your life?
I'm sorry about the guy. I really am. But it happens. How many people do you think we saved by now? Thousands?
We help people. It doesn't mean we can do whatever we want.
Why not? We're built to kill.
To kill demons. It does not mean that we get to pass judgment on people like we're better than everybody else.
We are better. Nobody's gonna cry over some random bystander who got caught in the crossfire.
I am.
I'm very interested as to where could Faith go. Oh boy.
No, I was with my friend Buffy.
We were at
The
Faith's,
two main suspects.
watching TV.
Is this the
that
same
it?
cop? The same detective that we've seen before? I am thinking of the possibility that Faith is gonna throw Buffy under the bus. I think that could happen. Is that Angel? Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, I've been letting things fester, and I don't like it. I completely understand why you and Faith have been doing the bonding thing.
It's more complicated than that.
But see, it's that exact thing that's ticking me off. Since when wouldn't I understand? All of a sudden, I'm not cool enough for you because I can't kill things with my bare hands. Oh.
There you go.
Oh, Buffy. I'm bad. I'm a bad person.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
There you go.
Do you think she's like in shock?
I think she's coping. The thing about that is that she could cope so hard she just becomes a bad person, Faith.
I know I've kept things from you before, but
Oh.
and us.
Okay, Buffy. I told him.
What did she say specifically?
He had to know what you did.
What I did. That's just not what
I
happened.
don't want to hear it, Buffy.
You can't be serious. You're setting me up.
Get to my office now. Faith, I'll talk to you in the morning.
Giles, please, you have to.
Now!
Like, why would Giles believe one but not the other?
I didn't do. Look, I know that I messed up badly, but the murder, it was.
Faith, I know.
Okay, there we go. I was hoping that he would say that. Giles has a favorite daughter. We know this.
I needed her to think that I was on her side. I don't know how far she'll take this, Sharad. You should have come to me right off.
Anna, it's not all our fault, Giles. We both thought it was a vampire. I only realized it a second before.
Buffy, this is not the first time something like this has happened. I mean, it's tragic, but accidents have happened.
Makes sense.
Well, the council investigates. Metes out punishment if punishment is due, but I have no plan to involve them. I mean, it's the last thing Faith needs at the moment.
It's a very high likelihood that Faith is just gonna go and tell Wesley that Buffy just killed a civilian. And then Buffy gets in trouble with the council or whatever, because they're not gonna hear what Giles has to say.
In the meantime,
Just listen to this.
no one extremely delicate.
Oh, he is. Okay,
Scare
he's
her off
listening.
now.
Well, let's see what he does then. I mean, he's gonna involve the council because he's a fucking stickler for whatever. So Faith is gonna get in trouble, or like Faith's just gonna kill this guy. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen at this point. Things are just getting out of hand, like real quick. Also, he doesn't like the fact that they're doing this without involving him, so.
I think she might listen to me. We kind of have, a connection.
A connection.
You're the one person, arguably, that Faith has had the least contact with.
Yeah, but we hung out a little recently, and she seemed to be, responsive.
When did you guys hang out?
The night the world was ending.
And you guys talked?
Not extensively. No.
Then why would you... Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't need to say, oh, I got it before.
Fine, let's move on.
I like those reactions, so it's funny.
She doesn't take the guys that she has a connection with very seriously.
That's also what I'm thinking,
And
but
they're,
I
they're
don't know.
kind of a big joke to her. No offense.
Why would I be offended by that?
However,
What do you have to see, Joe?
there's still the business of the mayor and Mr. Trick to attend to.
Okay,
Yeah.
they do know about that was Mr. Trick, so. A lot of things are happening real quick this episode. We're gonna get a montage of everyone being miserable halfway through the episode. That concerns me about the remaining half of the episode. That to me signifies an eventful back half of the episode.
I just, came by to see how you are, actually.
5 minutes.
That's all I need.
Let's see how this goes.
I heard about what happened, and I thought you might need a friend.
So then go talk to Buffy. She's the one who killed a guy.
Yeah, I heard that version.
Version?
It sounds like it was an accident, and that's the important part.
No, the important part is that Buffy is the accidental murderer.
You can try to hurt me, but right now you need someone on your side. What happened wasn't your fault, and I'm willing to testify to that in court, if you need me.
You'd dig that, wouldn't you? To get up in front of all your geek pals and go on record about how I made you my boy toy for a night.
No, that's not it.
I know what this is all about. You just came by here because you want another taste, don't you?
No, someday, sure, yay. But not now.
Lights on or off? Kinks or vanilla?
Faith, come on. I came here to help you. I thought we had a connection.
Yeah.
You want to feel our connection? It's just skin. I see, I want, I take, I forget.
Okay.
I can make you scream. I can make you die.
I mean, she's not gonna kill him. Well, maybe she could. Ooh, okay. Alright. Maybe she would have, actually. I'm sitting and thinking, like, she's not gonna. Well.
Sorry about the chains. It's not that I don't trust you. Actually, it is that I don't trust you.
Yeah, I don't.
I just want to talk to you.
Everyone wants to talk.
You want to go the long way around? Hey, I can do that. I'm not getting any older. It's like talking to a wall. Only you get more from a wall.
So keep trying, right?
Sure. I don't want you to get your hopes up, Buffy. She may not want us to help her. She's taken a life. She's got a taste for it now.
Not one Slayer, but two. Right here in the building.
Okay.
You're gonna have to come up with a more efficient solution. You better think of it soon.
I know what's going on with you.
Join the club.
I wanted to hear this conversation.
You have a choice. And you've tasted something few ever do. I mean, to kill without remorse is to feel like a god. But you're not a god. You're not much more than a child. Going down this path will ruin you. You can't imagine the price for true evil. We're a lot alike. Time was, I thought humans existed just to hurt each other.
I hope this is a very good conversation.
Then I came here, and I found out that there are other types of people. People who genuinely wanted to do right. And they make mistakes. They fall down. Yeah, but they keep caring. Keep trying. If you can trust us, Faith, this can all change. You don't have to disappear into the darkness.
Well, fucking Wesley.
What?
Yep.
By the order of the Watchers Council of Britain, I'm exercising my authority and removing you to England when you will accept the judgment of the disciplinary committee.
Well, at least they didn't kill Angel. I guess he's a vampire. I don't know why they wouldn't, but I guess they didn't.
This is a rather extreme circumstance.
They could like execute her or whatever. If you execute a misbehaved Slayer, you're gonna get a new Slayer that hopefully won't be that.
I have to disagree with you on that one. Now unlock these or I'll pop this guy's head like a grape.
I like to think that if these guys hadn't just come in, Angel could have talked her down out of this.
Again, Wes.
She's gonna kill this guy. Oh, okay. I guess she's just out. And she's gonna think that they told Wes, so they sold her out, so she can't trust anyone. Alright.
He had a couple of guys helping him.
Then he figured it out. I'm not the most objective, I know. I kind of have an issue with Faith sharing my people. But she murdered someone and accused Buffy. Then she hurt Xander. I hate to say it, but maybe she belongs behind bars.
But Angel was getting somewhere with her. She was opening up. If we could just stop Wesley.
That's no longer an issue. Good work. First you terrorize her, then you put her back in the streets.
You probably destroyed her.
Buffy.
She's right.
I want to help.
Still got your ticket back to the mother country?
Let's see how this goes. Oh boy. An intense episode today.
You don't give up, do you?
Not of my friends, no.
Yeah, because you and me are such solid buds, right?
Nobody is asking you to be like me. But you can't go on like this.
Scares you, doesn't it?
Faith, you're hurting people. You're hurting yourself.
But that's not it. That's not what bothers you so much. You know I'm right. You know in your gut. We don't need the law. We are the law. You've got the lust. And I'm not just talking about screwing vampires.
Don't you dare bring him into this.
Sex, the danger. At a party, we even dug him when he went psycho. You can't handle watching me live in my own way, having a blast because it tempts you. You know it could be you.
Okay, we're gonna fight.
I'm not gonna do this.
Why not? Feels good. Blood rising.
Okay. Okay. This is a trap. Somehow. Are you doing B? Oh fuck.
I hear once you've tasted a Slayer, you never want to go back. Oh no. No, this is no good at all.
Alright, goodbye. That's it for Mr. Trick.
So she saved you.
Yep.
She
And
could
then?
have left me there to die, Giles, but she didn't.
She helped you to come back to town with you. That bodes well.
I'm not gonna give up on her.
Then I think she stands a chance.
Man, the mayor's lost all allies. Now. Ooh. Oh, maybe she... she's gonna make a deal with him.
Guess that means you have a job opening.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Like, why would she go back to town instead of running away? Well, there's a couple different reasons what that could happen. One of which could be, hey, I'm gonna go and seek the help of the mayor because he can ensure my safety. The other reason could be, hey, I'm gonna go and back and pretend to help the mayor. Alright, hey, what's up? Sorry, it's been a full day since I watched the episode. I recorded that at like noon yesterday, and then it got real hot, and then I was like, okay, I guess my day is over now. So I had to wait an entire day, and I literally woke up like 20 minutes ago. So I look like shit. Let's do this. This episode was incredible. I enjoyed this episode. I think the title is Consequences. Yes, that's the point of the episode. The episode was very centered around Faith, which we haven't had ever, really. I mean, we have had episodes where Faith mattered, but we haven't had an episode where Faith was such a crucial part of it. What I really like about this episode is that the premise is we follow Faith and also Buffy in how they feel regarding the fact that they just killed a guy. I mean, Buffy didn't kill the guy, but she was there when it happened, and then she was like, do I tell people or not? Like, she's at the very least someone that's kind of complicit, but we know it's not her fault. She didn't do it, and even if she were the one with the stake, she realized last second, like, oh, fuck, sorry, I'm not gonna do anything. But the thing about this is that, so of course, Buffy feels guilty, and you see earlier in the episode, she has like a nightmare about like, oh, I'm being dragged down by the body, by the man that I killed, where we kill. And then she finally goes up for air and Faith is right there and drowns her again. It's like, okay. Also, as I say that, now I realize that it's drowning, which is something that has killed her before. So, okay, maybe there's something there as well, but, you know, that's just a fun thing. But what's more immediately interesting to me is Faith herself. Because last episode, when we see Faith at the end talking with Buffy, she's just like, Buffy, you don't get it. I don't care. and she's doing this like smile thing. The thing is that she does care, and you can see it because Faith is one of those people that anything she says, you have to be like, okay, that's not real. You have to like actually look for her actions and stuff in order to try to discern what exactly she's feeling or what she's thinking. So in that scene, you can see how she keeps like scrubbing her hands, like almost trying to wash off the blood, which doesn't come out. And that's very much like a thing of like, yeah, the blood is not real, the blood is not there, it's the feeling that you want to get out of yourself, which is the feeling of guilt, you know? And this entire episode was like, how is Faith reacting to the situation? And the thing is that Faith comes across as like a terrible person this episode, and she's doing terrible things. Like, she's telling people like, oh, Buffy killed them, right? Stuff like that. But realistically, Faith could just go on the run. Like, she could just disappear and be like, yeah, fuck this. I'm just gonna go and run away forever. She could be fine if she wanted to. The thing is that everything that she's doing this episode is not because she's in, like, legal trouble. Is because she feels like shit. Is because she's, like, trying to, like, bury the situation, and she's trying to deflect anyone from going after her or talking to her, really, because she just wants to leave that behind. And something I really like about this is the fact that the question is not about whether or not Faith is a good or a bad person. The question is, will Faith turn into a good or a bad person after this event? Like, that's actually what it's doing. Because people, like, in real life, people are not like a set thing. They are not specifics. They are not something that you can look at and be like, oh, that's easy, you are X. It's not a binary. It's not a yes, no. It's not a good, evil. It's not a white, black. It's people change. People are constantly developing. People are constantly learning, and people are constantly changing. This episode is really focusing on the idea that we trust Faith, but right now she's doing a lot of fucked up shit. And right now we don't know what direction she's going to go. And like, they are bringing up the idea that maybe she's got a taste for it. I don't see that, but at the same time, they don't see what I see. Everyone is, and this is just the case in real life as well, like, people will focus on like whatever Faith keeps like outwardly doing, that's what people will use in order to infer what she's feeling or what she wants and stuff. You really have to dig deep in order to get to whatever the fuck is going on with Faith, and I can't even claim that I do. Because the thing about Faith as well is that she's feeling like she can't really trust anyone, and like, this is something that I just realized right now as I was rewatching the episode a little bit. I was skimming through it because I watched this a day ago. I have to remind myself. So okay, one of my favorite scenes this episode, if not my favorite scene, is the scene with Angel and Faith when he's just talking to her. And before this scene happened, because the first scene is whenever Angel chains her, and then there's a different scene when they talk. When she got chained by Angel, I was thinking like, please let there be a scene where he just talks to her, because I feel like of all people that can like talk to her and maybe get somewhere, Angel would probably be the best. And the reason why I say that is because, okay, something I've seen, I think that the Buffy fandom, at least the people in my YouTube comments, maybe see Angel as like, okay, this is just the sad boy that we have hanging around, and he's kind of boring. And I get that, but at the same time, I actually do like the character of Angel a lot, because the character of Angel a lot is someone that is so ridden with like self-hatred and guilt for like a couple centuries, a lot of it. And what remains is an incredibly fucked up person who's trying to be normal, and in some ways is being saved by the relationships he's formed now. Not just Buffy, but also like, well, Giles is a complicated one, but you know, Willow, Xander, etc. Like, these are all people that he knows, and they're kind of friends, you know, which is something that Angel doesn't have. So his humanity is in some ways being brought back thanks to them, which is what this conversation is. He says, time was, I thought humans existed just to hurt each other. But then I came here, and I found out that there are other types of people. People who genuinely wanted to do right. And they make mistakes, they fall down, but they keep caring, keep trying. And if you can trust us, Faith, this can all change. I like that a lot because I think that is actually getting to the core of the Faith issue here. Because Angel can just go right through it, right? Angel is like, I know how this works. I've been there. This is the point. Because what Angel is going for here is the idea that Faith, I know that you think that everything and everyone sucks. That's not true. People here, they care. They can be your friends. They can look out for you. And you can trust them. You can trust us, you know? That is what he is saying. Because the problem with Faith is that she doesn't think she can trust anyone. Like before, it feels like she lost her trust in Buffy in some way because she didn't tell her about the angel stuff, which she also brings up this episode again, which means that she's using that as kind of a gotcha, you know, so it's something that is on her mind. You can see this in other scenes. There is, for example, the scene where she is with Xander. We just had a rape scene in this episode. It didn't go all the way. It also almost turned into murder, but it was there. But the only thing I have to say regarding that scene is, are vampires allowed to get into hotels? Like, can they just walk into a motel? I'm pretty sure she didn't invite him before, but he was there. So, how did Angel get there? I guess motels are just a free for all. We should have motels infested with vampires if that was the case. But before that, there was another scene where Xander talked to Faith. For once in my life, I really like whatever Xander was doing here, because what's happening is that Xander is trying to get to her. He's trying to, okay, let's talk. Let's make this work. Listen, I can help you, right? I'm willing to help you because I care. And the only thing Faith can come up with is, oh, you want to fuck me again? Okay, if you want to fuck me again, let's fuck it. And Xander's like, no, I don't want to. And then it gets real weird. But where I'm trying to get here is that, and this happened a couple of times this episode, like she says kind of the same thing to Angel. And she kind of does the same thing with Buffy. She keeps trying to come up with reasons that make people come back and talk to her that are not related to herself. She keeps coming up with reasons of like, well, there's no way that they would try to help me because everyone in this world is fucking horrible. So they must have some kind of ulterior selfish motive in order for them to try and reach out to me. So she keeps lashing out against the world because she perceives the world to be a terrible place and everyone she knows to be a terrible person, which is not the case. So I like that Angel is immediately able to go right through that, and he's like, that's not the case. People care. People are good. You can trust them. They are trying to help you. And it is kind of the point of maybe Faith doesn't want to be helped, which is something Angel says. Because, again, this is kind of where we're going with Faith, is that Faith is changing. It could go either way. And we have stuff to say about the end of the episode, but that's also a thing that could go either way, by the way. Because I see Faith joining with the mayor, and I'm like, well, she could be joining the mayor, or she could be tricking the mayor into him thinking that she's joining him and then backstab him later. Like that, it could be either way. So I don't fucking know. But in this episode, everything that Faith is doing is simultaneously in and out of character. Because again, if she wanted to, she could just say, oh, fuck this, and just leave. But she's not doing that. It takes her until the end of the episode to do that. Why would she not do that before? And the answer is because, well, she's trying to put everything behind her so nobody reaches out to her. Because you feel weak when people do that. You feel weak whenever people see your feelings. So, fuck that. I'm just gonna bury all my emotions right here, and then one day I'll die. Yeah, right now we're just wondering, where is Faith going to go? She could go in a direction of, well, everyone does suck, and the world is a terrible place, and fuck all y'all. Or she could go in a direction of, maybe people do want to help. Maybe people do care about me. And this murder thing has, like, made me feel bad. It has hurt me. But now the options are, you either accept help from other people, which goes against your ideology that everyone sucks and everyone is just gonna hurt you worse, or you can shrug it off and pretend that nothing is wrong, and then you find yourself in the exact same situation and you just keep doing it over and over again because you keep pushing the world away from you. So, okay, Faith is going to go either one or the other direction. We don't know which. And I like that that's the point of the episode. It's not the question of whether Faith is a good or a bad person. It's the question of, like, I don't know what direction Faith is going to go now. So we have to make sure that we help her so she can go the right direction. She can accept help. She can be our friend. We can all be there for her. We can put all of this past us, but together. Because that's also the other thing that you can kind of see on the other mirror, which is Buffy. Buffy tells Giles about everything that happened. I mean, Faith told him and then he pretended, but then he had a conversation with Buffy. But Giles is just like, Buffy, it's fine. Like, this kind of things happen. People get hurt in the line of work. Slayers have hurt people that weren't vampires before. This is just kind of part of the course. We're fighting a war and sometimes other people die. And I understand if that wasn't your fault. I understand if that wasn't the intention, but this kind of shit just kind of happens. In some ways, like, Faith said that earlier in the episode as well. Faith was like, hey, people die sometimes, you know? You can't expect us to do perfect work. Sometimes we're just gonna kill another person and that's just gonna be part of the deal. The way she was saying it was essentially around the lines of, well, I don't have to tell anyone nothing and I don't have to answer for nothing. That's a little bit different. But the way Giles puts it, it's like, yeah, this happens. And it's not a terrible thing. And I'm not going to judge you as a person if there's something like this does happen. But the person who needs to hear that is Faith. It's not Buffy. Faith needs people to just go there and be like, girl, it's fine. I forgive you also, because, you know, Faith did a lot of shit to a lot of people this episode. People need to forgive her, which is, you know, depends on the person whether or not they want to forgive her. But the thing is that Faith needs to see that people do give a shit. People do care. So that's the only thing I can come up with here as to what a solution could be. Okay, let's talk about the end of the episode here. Mr. Trick died, by the way. I just realized, yeah, I forgot about that. Mr. Trick did die this episode. I mean, Mr. Trick was cool. I like that as a vampire. I kind of wish we had seen more of him, but okay, he's dead. He died like an important death, you know? He was like about to kill Buffy and Faith saved her. So I guess that was somewhat important. And also, this was a very important episode, so. But the mayor is left alone, and then right at the end, Faith is like, hey, you got a job opening? So, okay. Like I said before, this could be Faith betraying the gang and helping the bad guy, or it could be Faith pretending to betray the gang and pretending to help the bad guy so then she can kill him later. I feel like Faith is the kind of person that can do that. Giles did say that she was terrible at lying, so that's something on the table. But what I was thinking, like yesterday after I watched the episode, I was sitting there thinking like, okay, something I thought about this episode that wasn't mentioned is something that makes me think that maybe she is betraying them. Is the fact that she was taken by Wesley. And the moment she's taken by Wesley, I'm like, she's gonna think that they sold her out. You know, she's going to think that they told Wesley how she did it, which is a betrayal of her trust, which is something that it's crucial right now. It's crucial for her to trust people. And she keeps being, to her understanding, backstabbed by people. Like, immediately, she feels betrayed by Xander as well when Xander comes into the room and she's like, Buffy killed that guy. And he's like, yeah, I heard that version. And she's like, what do you mean version? So it's like, okay, you don't trust what I'm saying. Okay, you're gonna trust that bitch instead. Okay, fuck you. I genuinely think that Angel would have gotten through to her. Like, just give him like a couple of hours. He would have just released her and she would have been like, all right, I'm better now. Thank you for the therapy session. Let's not talk about this with anyone. And then he would be like, we will, but later, okay? Whenever you feel ready, you can talk to people about it. You should tell Buffy, though. That's probably how that would have gone. And then Wesley shows up and it's like, we're gonna take you to prison. And I'm thinking about like, okay, what is gonna be the punishment? I'm gonna be real with you. I would not be surprised if the punishment was just like execution. Just kill Faith. And the reason why I think that is because the way Slayers work is that whenever one dies, another one is called. Therefore, if Faith is a bastard, you can kill Faith and then bring on someone else that hopefully is not a bastard. I can see the council just doing something like that because I have like no trust in the council. She's being taken away. She's about to explode a dude's neck and then she's like, okay, let me go. And then she escapes. The thing is that what she's doing is that she's escaping and running and she's like, okay, I'm gonna run away. she's not out there killing people. Like, she didn't kill Wesley or whatever. So that's another thing that points you in the direction of Faith doesn't want to keep killing people. Because, like, I'll be honest with you, Faith had, like, every right to kill fucking Wesley, I feel like. Because, I mean, we as the audience hate Wesley. And I feel like Faith, as someone inside the universe of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is someone who hates Wesley more. So I feel like Faith would have killed him if she wanted to. She didn't. That's what I'm getting at. I think Faith is someone who's very confused and very hurt. And she doesn't want people to know that she's very confused and very hurt. She doesn't want people to see right through her. Because also Faith is someone that stabs all of her problems. She just brute force her way through everything. This is something you can't brute force your way out of. This is something that requires introspection, and it requires a worldview shift. That's not easy to do. What I would like to see is just a scene, and I'm not sure if this is gonna happen. What I would like to see a scene where like Faith just like breaks, like in her introductory episode. Actually, I remember her introductory episode. Like, she showed up, and then Buffy and her fought some, was it Kakista? I think that was his name. Some big demon dude who killed her previous watcher. And then I remembered that she freaked the fuck out. She just started losing it. She just started crying. She was so afraid the moment this guy shows up. And she is paralyzed and she cannot do anything. And I like that Faith. I love a character who is 24/7 putting up a front and just deflecting everything until the core problem arises. And then she just literally just falls to her knees and just starts crying. Like, I love a character like that. A character who is bottling things up so hard, and then the moment where you can't do that, you break. Like, you just break. Okay, I like that. I like that in a character. I want to see that again happen with Faith, you know, on some level. I don't know what direction the show wants to take, because again, Faith could be feeling like everyone betrayed her, and she's betraying everyone in turn. Or maybe Faith feels like maybe they do care about her, and now she is gonna go and try to do a ballsy ass move with the mayor, trying to backstab him or something. And if that's the case, I am afraid for Faith, because Faith could fucking die if she's hanging out with the final boss. And it's like, I'm gonna fucking stab him in the back last second, and it's gonna be great. And it's like, well, he just became invincible last episode. He's unable to die, so maybe that bodes bad for you, Faith. The show is called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That means that there's only one character that has to live through the entire thing, and that is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Everyone else is expendable, so we'll see how this bodes for Faith. Because yeah, I'm trying to rationalize the reason why Faith would go and try to do a ballsy move like that, if she is gonna betray the mayor later. And it kind of makes sense, because she could be thinking like, okay, he's gonna keep coming after us because they know that we did it, right? The cops came to our house and it was like, yeah, okay, you guys killed that guy, you know? So Faith might be thinking like, okay, he's gonna get us. We can't run away because he's a fucking mayor. We know that. So maybe the play is, I'm gonna pretend to help him, and while next to him, I'm just gonna like try to pull the strings a little bit, convince him to not go after Buffy yet, convince him of like trying to do some crazy plans and stuff. But really what I'm doing is stalling until we can get him. Maybe that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe she could be doing something like that. I don't know. By the way, my AC stopped working like 5 minutes ago, which means that the heat has already like killed it for today. So I need to finish this video real quick before it gets real bad in this room. Buffy had a line here that really reminded me of Naruto. Faith just says like, you don't give up, do ya? And Buffy's like, not on my friends, no. And it's like, Buffy would like Naruto. Maybe she would like Naruto. This is one of those things where I'd be like, do you think Masashi Kishimoto watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer? But then I think about it and I'm like, no. Buffy's a show where women kick ass, and Masashi Kishimoto is a misogynist, so no, he would never watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He would have learned a thing or two if he had watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But okay, this is where like Buffy's colors also show up. It's the fact that Buffy can see through the veil of Faith on some level. She keeps thinking like Faith is hurt. Faith feels awful because I am hurt and I feel awful, and I think Faith does too. And she's trying to reach out to her. She's trying to be like, girl, I'm not gonna give up on you. I get you. I'm gonna be there for you. And Faith is like, that's bullshit. I don't believe you. And that's just the entire dynamic. This entire episode is people coming after Faith to be like, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you to talk to me. We can try to solve this. I want to reach my hand out to you and I want you to grab it. And Faith is like, you're here for pussy, aren't you? And it's like, no, stop. Because Faith is unable to see the world as anything that wouldn't be something that tries to take advantage of her. So the way she acts is someone who does the exact same thing, because fuck this world. Sorry, I'm going on in circles now. I already said that. Okay, what else can I talk about? Oh, something I was thinking about. This is completely unrelated to Faith and the plot. Is Willow. Xander just says like, oh yeah, we fucked. And Willow feels terrible about that for some reason. What was the line that she said? I don't remember what scene it was, but there was a line. I kind of have an issue with Faith sharing my people. I mean, okay, she maybe is referring to Buffy, but that also sounds like referring to Xander. Okay, no, that's fine. That's a fine line. Just saying sharing my people. Okay, it's referring to Buffy, the Buffy situation as well. But the way I originally read that line, it was like, Xander is not your man. You have a boyfriend, girl. Like, but Oz wasn't in this episode at all. He was nowhere to be seen. Either we didn't write Oz for this episode or the actor couldn't be here. Either way, it's like, okay, like I wish Oz was a part of these events a little bit more, but this is a Faith episode. We focus on Faith and Buffy. Something I do like here near the end is that Wesley shows up. And he tells everyone, yeah, I fucked up. And then he says, what do? I want to try to help. I like, the thing about Wesley is that he's not a bastard. He's not a terrible person. He's just incredibly unprepared to deal with any sort of situation. And he's incredibly devoted to the procedure of the Watchers or whatever. So like, he's trying to do good. He just doesn't think for himself or understand what good is. And I like that he's like, well, I feel like I fucked up. What do I do, guys? I want to help. And it's like, dude, leave. And he's just left alone, standing there just like, oh man, I fucked up. And it's like, yes, you did. But like, I do like the idea of a character who's just not, he's not bad. He would probably end up doing bad things. I don't trust the Watcher Council for their punishment of Faith. So maybe he would have just driven her to her execution or whatever. But I feel like he's not the kind of person that would genuinely try to do something bad. It's just that he doesn't understand the situation. He doesn't understand Faith. And he's like, oh yeah, she killed a person. The rule book says that she needs to be punished or whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. And it's like, man, like the situation is a little bit more complex here, but okay. There was a weird scene where she's like, I'm horny for Cordelia or whatever. Is that a thing we're gonna be doing? And Cordelia was flirting with him. That was the weird part, is that she wasn't like, oh, who is this fucking nerd? It's that she kept talking to him and she kept giving him like the eyes of like, I keep staring at you, and he's like, oh yeah, you're and then they straight up says like, bro, jailbait. She's a minor. She might not be a minor. She could be 18, I guess. But, well, what is the age of consent in the United States of America? I don't want to Google that. I don't care. There's still a high schooler and a grown-ass man. I don't know what Wesley's age is, but you should wait a couple years. And even if you do that, it's a little bit weird. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but maybe that's something that will be followed through on. Because there was, why else would that scene be there? That's a weird, that's a wild ass like two characters to grab and put together into a storyline. That's weird to me. But anyway, they know that the mayor is hanging out with the evil vampires or whatever. And the mayor knows that the Slayers are onto him as well. So, okay, now this becomes incredibly more high stakes and I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I don't know what direction the show's gonna go. How many episodes do we have in this season? Actually, let me fucking check. I mentioned it last week and I didn't check at all. I was just like, I think we have like less than 10. I think we have 22. So that means 7 episodes left. A lot can happen in 7. I'm assuming that like last season's finale was a 2-parter. So I'm guessing we're going to get a 2-parter finale. So that leaves us with a room of 5 episodes to just do whatever we want with. So we could have like episodic episodes, you know, villain of the week kind of thing. Or there could be some major events happen in 5 episodes. I don't fucking know. So we'll see what direction Buffy wants to go here. I think that's maybe all I want to say this episode. I mean, I just talked about Faith for like 35 minutes. That's what I just said. And it was great, actually. I really enjoy what we're doing here with this character. with these characters, with this entire storyline. I don't know where it's gonna land. I don't know what their plans are, because honestly, it could be either. It could be anything. It could be Faith is bad now, and we're gonna have a villain who was a friend, and who was someone that we know is a hurt person, because like that's the thing, is that we can see that Faith is hurt. The question is not whether or not Faith is hurt. The question is whether or not that pain will lead her into a right or a wrong path. So now we're gonna get a character who is either going to be an antagonist who used to be a friend, and we can tell that she's hurting, but she has decided to completely ignore that, which makes a very interesting antagonist, which makes a very interesting character. Or we can have someone who actually is playing a long game to try and save us at the last second or something, which could also be really fun. We'll see what direction the show wants to go here. I like this episode, and I like Faith as a character. I don't necessarily condone a lot of her actions, but I understand them, and that's what makes them interesting and fun to me. All right, I think that's going to be it for this episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sorry if I forgot something. It is getting real hot. My hair is getting humid. I don't like that. I just want to leave this place. And I think I went over everything. Maybe I forgot something. If I forgot something and I notice it in the editing, I'll mention it next week. Hello, what's up? So I'm recording this way later. I actually just finished editing the episode, and I just wanted to record this thing to add onto it, because I thought that this is a fun topic that I thought about while editing, and I could mention it next week, but fuck it, I'm just gonna add it here because I think it's worth it. And this might not mean anything, but it's one of those observations that I think it's worth pointing out. I was thinking about that scene earlier with Wesley and Cordelia, and it was a little bit weird about Cordelia kind of being into him and Wesley kind of being into her. And it's like, hey, she's a high school student, you know? And that could be a thing of, you know, we're setting things up for the future with both of those characters for some reason. And I definitely think that that's mainly the case. But a different reading that I got on that scene with the context of the episode, now that I have the knowledge after I finished that and I was rewatching it while editing, is that something I didn't really mention during this discussion, but it's implied. It's the fact that Faith is a kid, and like we forget sometimes that these characters are children, but they are. In fact, Faith's actress just turned 18, if I have my information correct. These characters are just a bunch of teenagers. They're a bunch of kids. Like, I remember being 17 years old and making some of the dumbest mistakes of my life, you know? Like, I feel like that's completely normal for everybody. And I think that when assessing whether or not Faith is a good or a bad person, and whether or not you should be upset at her or not for some of the stuff she does here, whether or not it's justified, whether or not she deserves to be forgiven, or whether or not Buffy is right in thinking, you know, I'm not going to give up on her. All of that you have to put in the context of she's a child. She's afraid, she's confused, and she's a child. Okay, the reason why I'm bringing this all up to that weird scene with Wesley and Cordelia is that with the context of the episode, I almost think that maybe the reason why that scene was even there, or why it was presented in this very episode, was because maybe the show is trying to remind you, like, hey, these are children. Like, it is a very weird and kind of creepy way to do so, but I think it's something that could kind of work. Maybe that's something that they were going for. I'm not sure if that's maybe me reading into it too much, but at the very least I like this interpretation of it that I just came up with, which is the show is just trying to remind you that these are children, because now we're using it for like a weird gag between two characters that are minor, kind of relevant, but they are not the main drama of the episode. And then with that information of, hey, these are children, now you're moving forward with, hey, Faith is big into trouble and she's going to do a lot of fucked up shit, but you have to remember that this is also a child. I think that's a fun interpretation. I like that one, and I just wanted to add that into this episode because I just think it's a fun topic. Yeah, anyway, again, I am recording this at 4 a.m. I just finished editing the episode. I'm gonna just attach this to the very end of the discussion, and then I'm just gonna go to sleep while the episode renders. Okay, thank you very much for listening to this to the end. See you guys next time. And alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. If you would like to watch the next episode reaction, the next two actually, you can do so over at the Patreon. Check out the links section below. Support the channel, help me out, check out my other social media and stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay everybody, bye bye.